And when I went to school, it was the first year that they allowed people of color to go into that school.
How your upbringing, the kind of schools that you went to, and the jobs that you did in the early stages of your career.
Okay. Wow, that's how far do you want to go back? Um so I'll try to give you the non-boring answer to this. I'm a white man who grew up in the heat of apartheid South Africa. Was born in the 80s, lived into had my childhood in the 90s. And the reason I'm talking about this is because I think that really did shape who I was. When I was young, um, I was at a school, Parkview Senior School here in Johannesburg, and Parkview Senior School was a government school. And when I went to school, it was the first year that they allowed people of color to go into that school. And as I grew up and as I grew older, I realized that South Africa, while we had a political democracy in 1994, we really did not have an economic democracy. I suppose it was Mandela and Tutu's vision of this rainbow nation, which I really think it's really hard to look back at that and be like, wow, what were those guys thinking? It was a beautiful vision. Um, Sadly, the follow-on effect from that didn't lead to a lot of economic transition for a lot of people of color. And so growing up in that and seeing that inequality and seeing the way I grew up, which was this beautiful home where, like I went to school and there was food on the table and I could go on holiday and it was a lovely, all the doors were open to then learning when I went to varsity and beyond, learning that actually I was in the minority here. Like that sounds stupid. Like obviously, like Andrew, wake up. But when you're in it, you don't see the privileges you have. And then when you get exposed to that privilege, like after varsity, I saved up all my money and I went backpacking in South America and I had this small little camera. And what I realized through that is that the world was so unequal in South America. And when I came back to South Africa, I was like, oh my goodness, we're the same. There's so much inequality here, but I'm the privileged one. And I think I took threads of that, plus my experience of going overseas, and brought that into this idea and ideal that my life is not what everyone else experiences in South Africa. I wish it was. Like